This is the TrakRacer Alpine TRX sim racing rig, and it's a rig that they claim has been designed in conjunction with Alpine's own F1 engineers. There are a lot of F1 sim racing rigs in the market, a few of them just a normal rig with a logo slapped on, with some of them being a bit more bespoke, but none have been claimed to have been designed by actual F1 race engineers. So in this video, we're going to go over the good, the less good, and the downright ugly, and we're going to work out whether or not it's actually worth your time. So first impressions then, well, assembling it was not too hard, takes a bit of time and definitely needs more than one person. The kind of rig this is a tubular rig, meaning that it's different from this kind of thing, which is an aluminium profile design. The sim racing aficionados amongst you will tell you that aluminium profile is the be all and end all when you're creating a sim racing rig, but I'm not so convinced. This does have pros that this kind of design has lent to it. Now when it's all finally set up, this thing has got a very striking profile. I love the fact that the seat has got this blue Alpine design. The actual blue itself is stunning, and it's got this Alpine F1 team with a little French flag, which looks amazing. You also got a little plaque down below, which makes you feel like you've got something special and unique. The seat itself is very comfortable. It's got these things, which are actually the pillows that have a quilted effect that are stuck on with Velcro. Very nice indeed. So first impressions are pretty good. The actual materials that they're using, the metal feels good. I think it looks good, apart from the fact that it's massive. But the question is, how much does it actually cost? So the cost of the Alpine TRX, including the seat and the rig, is $1,500 US. Now, why on earth would somebody want to spend that kind of money on one of these? This thing can be used in both the GT and Formula positions. GT being the more upright, traditional way of driving, and Formula being the more laid-back F1 style seating position. It takes no time at all to go from driving your favorite GT3 car to being an F1 driver. Compared to other rigs who have a similar offering, this thing requires no tools and takes literally no time at all. In fact, let's time how fast it takes for me to go from a GT position to a Formula position. So you're racing around in your Porsche 911 GT3 and you realize you want to drive something faster. It's as simple as getting off the rig, undoing a few bolts, pressing in a few pins and moving it together, and this took me a grand total of 4 minutes. Adjustability in this thing is unlike anything I've ever used before. You can change the seat forwards and backwards, you can tilt it up and down, you can also move the steering wheel forwards and backwards as well as the pedals, which means if you've got mates coming around or you have lots of different people using your sim racing rig, it means it's the easiest one to have multiple people use. Hands down, there is nothing else like this. If you've had the pain of trying to adjust an actual aluminium profile rig, you'll know how fantastic this thing is in terms of being adjustable. Now in terms of using wheels and wheelbases and pedals on this thing, it allows you to use lots of different types. I've currently got the SimMagic Alpha Mini on here with the SimMagic FX Pro, which looks absolutely stunning and they feel wonderful to use, and the SimMagic P1000 pedals. Now let's talk about the main issue with the Alpine TRX rig. Well, it's that dirty word in every sim racer's mind called flex. I'm not talking about your local roid head in the gym. I'm talking about the fact that this thing moves, and it moves quite a lot. As you can see there, just in the steering wheel area, it's moving quite a lot up and down, and you get the same similar thing. You're pressing really hard on a brake there, you get that flex in that movement. Now, what is the actual problem with flex when it comes to sim racing? If you are using a really high powered wheel, I don't really call this a high powered wheel, I've got a SimaCube 2 Pro there which has got double the power. That's a different type of flex. You'll notice the flex and it will annoy you if you're trying to get that perfection in your driving experience. Similarly with the pedal plate, if you're using a very powerful load cell brake and you need to put over 100 kilos of force through your leg, the flex will reduce the consistency of your braking experience. I tried using my SimaCube 2 Pro and my VRS pedals on here, and the flex to me was kind of noticeable. You know, it did actually affect the way I was playing. Using a less powerful wheelbase like this SimMagic Alpha Mini made things a bit better, and similarly just running less of a powerful brake pedal made things a bit easier. Ultimately, I feel like 99% of people are not going to notice the flex in this when you're actually playing. So to conclude, should you buy a TrakRacer Alpine TRX? Well, you're going to be in one of two groups. Group number one appreciates the sheer insanity in terms of the amount of adjustability that this thing has. If you've got friends, I have friends, and if you've got family that want to use this thing, it makes a lot of sense to have it because you can adjust it really easily. If you want to take someone who's short, you can adjust it for them, and if 5 seconds later someone tall comes along, you can easily adjust this for them. And in my opinion, that is a fantastic use of this rig. I think it looks awesome. Aesthetically, it's very pleasing. I think the aluminium profile rigs that we have today are so overdone because everyone has got one. So this is something that's actually unique, and you can say that you have a rig that's been designed by an F1 team. Great kudos. Or you'll be in group 2, where the amount of flex that this has is just too much to justify, especially when you consider the relatively high price to get one of these things. Now, the monitor stand, special mention, it's pretty robust, it works pretty well, and it can handle the 48-inch OLED monitor that I've got there. And you know, despite being relatively far away, you know, unless you are a sim racing purist, this is just fine. But if you're in that second group, you may find that this isn't the rig for you, and that's okay too. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions down below and I'll try and answer them. If you're looking to get one of these things, check my link down below. It's an affiliate link, it costs you nothing, but it helps me to continue running the channel. Thanks again to TrakRacer for sending this thing out for review. I've enjoyed using it, it's been a blast. In the meantime, look forward to some of my new content. I've been away for a bit of time, and I've been slowly creating something that I think you guys are really gonna like.